What is going on, guys? This is Caleb from anewexpression.net, where we help you become your greatest self. Now, today's video is going to be a little different. So for the people that are involved with self-growth, self-improvement, spirituality, all that good stuff, this video is going to be all about fitness. So this might not pertain to you guys. It might eventually, my channel and what I'm about is improving in all areas in life. So I think it's very important for you guys that are involved in self-improvement to get yourself in the gym, get some exercise. When you work on that, it improves all areas in your life. So it's not just about fitness, it's about incorporating and really balancing the whole thing so that you guys can achieve your goals and make your dream a reality. That's a different topic for another day. Hopefully I can get you guys inspired, for the people that aren't going to the gym, to get your ass in the gym, or not even in the gym, but just going outside and exercising. But anyways, for my fitness folks and anyone that is interested in exercising and fitness, this video is going to be for you. And this video is going to really focus on the bench press. Now, the bench press was something that I've always wanted to excel in. I always wanted to hit the big numbers. You see people, you walk in the gym and they're hitting like 315 for like 15 reps. Even though I'm pretty sure I don't think I've seen that before. But anyways, you know what I'm talking about. You get the people with hitting 225 like it's nothing, like a warm-up set. And I'm just like over here and like I'm working my way up to a plate. I'm like, it's discouraging. It's very discouraging. But today I actually hit a PR. Okay, it was a morning workout. I don't know if it was the morning coffee. I don't know if it was a meditation, but it seemed like everything got together, and I hit 185 for 6. Now that might not sound like a lot. Like, Caleb, like there's people that's banging out 225 for warm-up sets, and I get that. I do get that. Okay, don't bash on me here. But you have to understand that I started out from literally at first, like in the very beginning, I started out for it was like 135 for about like 4 or 5 reps, like a plate for 4 or 5 reps. It was a start. I was a naturally strong guy, so like for me to get 4 or 5 reps on one plate was pretty decent. But so I started working on it, and like 4 months in, I was hitting like 155 for about like 4 or 5 reps. Not really consistent, not really serious about my training, okay? And I hit that plateau, and I was like, I wouldn't go up from there. I would just stay at 155 for 4 or 5 reps, and it seemed like every day I was going to work out, that was the max amount of reps I could do. And it was discouraging, and it was a long process, guys. If you want to improve your bench, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some skill. It's going to take some strategy. It's going to take some consistent effort, some discipline. But I promise you, in the long run, if you keep at those skills, if you keep at it, you guys will eventually hit it. So I went from 155 for about 4 or 5 reps to 185 for 6. And it felt pretty damn good. It felt pretty damn good. I was very happy about that. You should have saw me when I got off the bench. Literally, when I put the bench up, I was like, hell yeah! And everybody like in the gym's like looking at me like I was like weird or something. But anyways, I was very happy about that. And so I wanted to give you guys some tips on how you can improve your bench. I'm currently weighing in at 140. So as you can tell, I'm not weighing too much, and for me to hit 185 for 6, hopefully hit 225 for 1, but that's another day. But hitting 185 for 6 at a body weight of 140 is, I'm not saying it's good or anything, but there's some it took some practice, it took some skill. So some tips. I'm gonna give you guys 3 tips on how you can improve your bench number. Now, tip number 1 is very important, and it's being consistent. You guys have to be consistent and hitting the bench. You have to hit the bench at least like twice or 3 times a week. I usually do it about 3 times a week, just so that I stay on top of my bench number and really skyrocket those numbers. So be consistent with it, okay? Be consistent with your training, be consistent with your meal plans and everything. And it's hard to align those things and really be consistent with those. But the more times you guys do it, the more times that you're consistent with it, it's the easier it'll get, and it'll be a lot easier to actually be consistent with. Tip number 2 is something I call reverse pyramid training. Now, what this is basically hitting the weight, right? So you hit your very top weight, the weight that you can do about 3 or 4 sets with, okay? And so my situation would probably be like 190. I would do that for 4 reps. So it'd be a 4 to 6 rep range that you could do, and you do that for 4 to 6 reps. Now, what this kind of training is that you do your highest weight first for 4 to 6 reps. Then you drop it down by about 10%, drop the weight down by 10%, and then hit that for 6 to 8 reps. Okay, and that's 2 sets right there. And then for the 3rd set, you want to go for 8 to 10 reps and drop the weight by about 10%. And as you can see, the training style is have your heaviest weight first, so that that's when you have the most energy, so it makes the most sense. So you hit your heaviest weight first for about 4 to 6 reps, and then you decrease the weight and hit it for 6 to 8, and then you decrease that weight and you hit it for 8 to 10. And eventually, you know, if you're consistent with that, you will eventually see progress, because you're basically really tearing down a muscle and you're really pushing yourself to get as many reps in as possible. So that was tip number 2, guys. Tip number 3. Now, tip number 3 is form. Now, you guys have to get your form down. If your form's not there, you're not going to progress. You guys have to get down to basics, the fundamentals down first before you're able to see progress and go up in weight. So with form, what I really focus on is retracting the shoulders. I'm sure you guys heard it before, but what does that really mean? So when you retract your scapula, basically that's the whole shoulder area right here. So what you want to do, I see a lot of people, you know, this is not a retracted scapula. When I see people on the bench and they're just like doing this and their shoulders are like way up, you see like the difference between this. This is how a retracted scapula looks like. Okay, your back, it should be all squeezed and tight, and your shoulders should be retracted, so that when you do it, you push so much more. If you do this, you're not going to be able to push the weight as much. Whereas if you do this, there's a lot more force and there's a lot more balance coming off from here. And another point that I wanted to make was, when you go down with the weight, you really want to have it where there's no pressure whatsoever. And an exercise that you guys could do is when you're working out, when you're warming up, with just the barbell itself, really find that sweet spot. For me, it's right under my chest. That's where I don't feel the weight at all. And so it's so much easier to push off there. If I go a little higher, I can feel the resistance. It's a lot harder to push than from below my chest. So really find that sweet spot and start playing around with it. Now, another tip, another great tip for form is, when you bench press, you want to have your elbows in. I see a lot of guys, bench pressing like this, and they're killing their shoulders by doing that. You guys want to fold your elbows in and really retract your shoulders, retract your scapula, and really fold your elbows in and find that sweet spot. And I'm telling you guys, the form will be, the most important thing when trying to progress in bench. So those were the 3 tips, guys. I hope you guys got some value out of that. Of course, I'll go more in depth with you on how to really progress and more tips and tricks on progressing on your bench press. If you guys like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe if you guys want more content like this. Leave a comment below if you guys have any questions, any video topics that you guys want me to do. And yeah, I hope you guys have a lovely day. Enjoy the weather. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. New faith in darkness.